People don't realize that, well, they don't realize that your body is a keyboard for your consciousness, and that your consciousness is not only a hard drive but also and processing unit, but also a keyboard for your body, and that the two of them are constantly in this transitive equation, allowing for change to go in either direction. Right? So when your mind's going like off in anxiety or stress or fear or some kind of uncontrollable state on its own, if you take a deep breath in and you just and bring your consciousness into feeling your body, you can then pull out of your mind into this state, this structure. And if you've trained it to like sit like a mountain or to be quiet, you can let it kind of be the keyboard and the processor for the brain and just bring the brain back down. So the training in meditation is about building what we call skillful means into that action. So if I know that my autonomic nervous system is firing and my adrenals are on fire and I'm getting like more and more agitated and my energy is rising, then I can say, okay, how do I bring that down? I've learned to draw slow, deep breaths in through the nose, into my lower abdomen, and sink them down into this like space in my lower abdomen where my kidneys are. And then from that, I'll start to feel my nervous system start to quiet. And I know that my adrenals are there. And if I try to soften the muscles of my back while I'm breathing and open up the space around my kidneys and adrenals, they'll start to get more blood flow and space around them physically. And that physical space will start to quiet down the nervous system more. And my brain chemistry will start to shift. Maybe I'll have some dopamine come through there and I'll move into another state. And once you've moved out of a state once, you know you can do it. And then you just become better at doing it. So if you think of your senses, your vision as an input, everything you see comes in, everything you hear comes in, everything you feel comes in. There's a ton of data flying at you all the time. And depending on your environment, like it's pretty peaceful here in Snowmass. So it brings you to a pretty peaceful state on its own. The environment will, to a certain extent, kind of hold you in that space. If it's a chaotic environment, it's going to create a lot of noise. And those things echo through your nervous system for a while. And they train responses and all kinds of different relationships. So this data, as it's coming through, has to be filtered and managed. So one of the things that we tell people to do is like, pay attention to what you're letting come in. Your brain's recording everything. Pay attention to what's coming in. Notice how you're responding to it. If it tends to increase your noise, then maybe you need to like have less of that coming in. If your noise is happening on its own, see if you can change something on the outside to quiet it down. If not, go to the inside and see if you can have a discussion with that part of your mind that's talking and ask it if there's something it really needs for you to hear in order for you to let it quiet down. But to start interrelating with your consciousness as like something that's enveloping all of you and not like some place in your brain. Like this is my issue with brain chemistry. I find it very interesting, but it's limited in that it can only talk about the things it's proved through its various methods of discovery. And there's a whole ton of other information that's out there that we can access through these ancient traditions that teaches us how to manage this like landscape of the consciousness of life in the body and environment without having to just say, oh, I have like a dopamine receptor deficiency and thus I seek novelty. Okay, well that's great. Now what's that mean for me here? Oh, well, how can I find novelty? Well, you can find it in negative ways and positive ways. You can find it through deep breathing or motorcycle racing or lots of other things in between. Find one that works for you. So I only have one mission at the moment, and it's evolved because I was a doctor for a long time and just did that in New York. And so there's a saying, there's a Lao Tzu saying that a path is made by walking it. And my mission is to give people real tools, spoken in whatever language that it needs to be spoken in, so that they can hear the piece they need to hear. To like literally take a boulder that's in their path and pick it up and move it out so they can walk their path. And I just want to teach people there are all these simple things you can do that are not hard to learn that can really radically change the outcome of your life and the experience of your day-to-day life. And I feel like our tradition, in particular Taoism and the sort of ancient Chinese arts, are lost to a lot of people, and there's a lot of great information there. I just want to like ease people's suffering in this simple way, the same way that I eased my own. So that's what I'm doing.
So how do you like being up in Snowmass?
I love Snowmass. I flew in from O'Hare on this beautiful little plane, and as I saw the mountain ranges appear, I was like, I gotta move back to Colorado. So see you soon, Snowmass.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure.